Let's go to Senator Jacqui Lambie, who's joining us from northern Tasmania tonight. Senator, thank you for joining us. What are you making of the results there in Tasmania so far?
Sorry, mate, I missed that. What did you say?
I'm just asking you generally what your thoughts are on the results so far in Tasmania.
Yeah, very interesting. I was expecting Anne Urquhart. You can see her; she was doing some really hard work down here the last 6 months. There's no doubt about it. She's thrown it all out there. So I think she was nearly doubling over my time at one stage. So she's done really well down here, and she's also well known. I did think that it may be a problem for Bridget because she obviously didn't have Scott Morrison in, so she wasn't crossing the floor. So probably haven't heard as much, even though she's doing the work on the ground, just haven't heard her out there as much being on the media and that sort of thing. So for Bridge, so I was a bit worried about her seat down there, but it's good to see Julie Collins finally getting challenged because, quite frankly, she needs to be challenged. So we'll just see how Peter George goes down there. But other than that, I think I see the upset. I imagine that Labor's going to take Braddon, Lyons and Bass.
Wow.
And obviously probably still keep it down there in Franklin. So, so that's a bit of a problem for them. Yeah.
Jacqui Lambie, it's Bridget Brendan here. Can you just talk to us about how crucial salmon farming and that debate has been in Tasmania during the campaign?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit like the football stadium down here. You know, you've got 65% of Tasmanians who don't want salmon. It's not that we don't want salmon. We're just asking you make all those profits, get it out into the sea, get it out of that bloody harbour. That's what we're asking. We think that's a fair ask. And then, of course, we've got this stadium at $1.2 billion, and that's on a good day. So there are other things that we could be doing with it. Certainly, we just cannot afford that stadium in Hobart. We know York Park's the centre of Tasmania. That's where the AFL's always been. It's always been northern Tasmania, and it's in the middle of everywhere. So it's fair for those kids that are with the AFL Academy and the travel. People down here don't have a lot of money, so so that cost of going to Hobart, spending the night there, a lot of people will drive home, and that's dangerous in itself. And you know what? They just never did it properly. They just decided over some frothies they were going to have this goddamn stadium. So, this is where the problem is. So hopefully that fight will continue, hopefully on Monday morning, hopefully I'm still standing.
Jacqui Lambie, what about the swing to Labor that we're seeing tonight? What do you put that down to? It's early figures, albeit.
Yeah, I think, I think Peter Dutton, I think them not coming out with their policies, they're not explaining them not costing them. Has been a real problem the last few weeks. I think it's really cost them, to be honest with you. They just didn't look like a team that was hungry. Labor's been out there. They've just seen the red shirts everywhere down here. It's been quite amazing. So I'm assuming that's all over Australia like that. But it just looks like in the last few weeks the Liberals just haven't wanted it. It's been quite amazing. So, you can see that turnaround. I think Labor's just been out there and hit it harder and done better. Let's be honest.
Just further to that, Jacqui Lambie, I mean, you always tell it as it is. What have you made watching both Peter Dutton and Anthony Albanese through this campaign? How would you rate their performance?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty lacklustre, as I like to say down here. It's a bit... it hasn't been like the normal elections in the past. People just haven't been excited. It's been quite weird. So that's been very interesting. They just let's just get this over and done with so we can get on with it. So that's the sort of attitude I've seen on the ground.
But has one been any better than the other? When you line up Albanese and Dutton, how would you...
Yeah, I think Labor's just been the bigger and smarter outfit. They've just done it a lot better. They look like they want to run. They look like they want to rule. Liberals do not. That's the problem. They've just been slipping the last few weeks and not coming out with your policy and your costings still towards the end. I mean, that's just ridiculous. What were they expecting? You want to govern, but you actually don't want to tell us how you're going to do that. That's just ridiculous. I reckon they've lost a lot of, those people that thought they may have voted for them, I reckon the last week they've lost quite a lot.
Jacqui Lambie, thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you so much for having me on.
The Jacqui Lambie network supporters there.
Can I just say, we need more balloons in the ABC studio. We need more.
What about were they little antenna as well on one of the supporters there?
James, you've been very resistant to this through the evening, but that's Jacqui Lambie adding to the voices saying a lacklustre campaign. Are you not seeing what other people are saying?